Hello, gamers! Welcome back to the Warframe Iron Man Dojo Chronicles, the show where I farm up resources for my Warframe Iron Man's dojo. Our current target is the Hema, in which we need to farm mutagen samples. We ended last week with 1387 mutagen samples, and we're beginning this week with 1463. We weren't able to get a resource booster for this week, so we're going in completely dry. We'll be farming Terrorim, which is a Deimos survival, on Steel Path. Along the way, I'll be answering any questions you guys have left for me last week. And without further ado, let's get into this week's episode. Now, before I get into answering questions, we're bringing back the pre-game yap, I guess. I have a couple of upgrades for the Hema grind session today. First and foremost, and is going to be a question later on in this video, we are using the Ripkas, which are going to allow us to generate even more corpses for us to loot, which should, theoretically, get us even more mutagen samples, which is going to be good. But another big update for our gear is that we are now able to use archon shards. This week in the Warframe Iron Man, we are going to be unlocking Veilbreaker and doing all of that, and one of the rewards we get from Veilbreaker is access to the archon shard segment adapter, or whatever it's called. So our Necros is nice and juicy, rocking 4 blue shards. Yeah, we just made him tankier. I'll probably explain it in the Warframe Iron Man video, but just for here, a little sneak peek, we're running 2 armor shards, Tau Forged Health Shard, and I think just a normal blue energy maximum, but I don't remember. I'm not really interested in making Necros do anything else except be a living embodiment of standing here and looking pretty. Do your job, Necros. Loot me some mutagen samples. That's all I need you to do, bud. Because I know if I were to invest into your other attributes, you would piss me off. I would get so mad. Therefore, I'm doing what's best for both of us. And he's just going to eat nothing but gobble up health. Just gobble up health, gobble up armor, don't die, and do me good. He does do me good. He's a wonderful son when he does his job. The only thing our Necros is missing is a little bit of that arcane persistence, which we'll get in, I don't know, 6 months or something, whenever I am up to the point of doing that. But for now, this is about as good as our loadout for farming this can be. I'll go over the Ripkas a little bit more, because it is a question that I wanted to answer. But for now, that's the update. Let's get on to the questions. Our first question for today is going to be, will you play Soulframe? Eventually. For now, I don't really have plans on playing Soulframe until it exits Preludes, whenever that will be. It could be like months, years. I'm fine with waiting. Personally, Soulframe didn't capture me. I like Warframe. Warframe is the game I enjoy from Digital Extremes. Soulframe looks fine. I don't have any qualms with it or anything. I'm not to be a big hater, but it doesn't look like my type of game. I will say I don't know much about Soulframe. I could end up playing it when it comes out of Preludes, and it's the bee's knees, and I'll look silly and dumb for not playing it right away. But for now, I think I'm content on waiting. That being said, if I do get around to playing it, I don't think I'll do an Iron Man or anything crazy like that. I think I'll just end up playing it, seeing how I like it. I do or don't. It is what it is. Eventually, though. Our next question is going to be, if you had to pick a syndicate in the game, which one do you think is the one you'd like to belong to, i.e. be born into? After looking at all of the syndicates, and I just am taking whatever the syndicate page on the wiki is telling me is a syndicate, which there are quite a few, more than the 6. I hope that wasn't your intent. It's the 6 normal faction syndicates. This syndicate I would like to be born into and belong to the most would probably be the Ostrones. Now, it would mean I'd be a fucked up meat baby and probably be eating wall flesh, but looking at my options, they seem the most normal. Yes, they're just a bunch of villagers on the plains of Eidolon, but I'm looking at Fortuna, and I'm like, damn, I don't really want to be a debt slave. Never put me on Deimos, please, for the love of God. The vent kids are fucking annoying. That's mean. I'm sorry. The Hex, I probably couldn't turn into a proto-frame, dude. I wouldn't be able to fucking live that. The holdfasts would be kind of interesting. Knowing what I know about the Zerman, though, that would just sign me up for my death, and then I'd be an eternal ghost for the rest of my life. The Cavia, I'm not an animal. I'm not Lloyd. Nor do I really want to be any of those things. Call's Garrison. I mean, that would be kind of neat. Just be a Narmer freedom fighter. There's also, like, Vox Solaris, which is another different term of freedom fighter, but I'm just looking at all these, and it's like, nah, there's some cons with it. And then there's Cetus, and being an Ostrone. Not to be confused with the Quills. I wouldn't want to be a Quill. That sounds ass. But, you know, the Ostrones, they just have to, like, live their life, you know, do village shit, you know, go fish, you know, chop the unum for some meat. I could dig with that. In the world of Warframe, where everything's fucked, bro, you telling me I just have to go chop meat? Yeah. Sign me up. As for the 6 of the factions, though, in case that was what you meant, just to cover my bases, I wouldn't want to be Steel Meridian or Parent Sequence, because that'd be being a Grineer or a Corpus. I don't know if Parent Sequence is specifically Corpus, but, I mean, they're still heavily vested into Corpus Doctrine, and I don't really fuck with, you know, for profit for the Void. Arbiters of Hexus, they make me do arbitrations, and, like, whatever fucking mental state you gotta get into to, like, join their faction, keep it away from me. Cephalon Suda is, you know, the data-centric one, and if anything to learn from Samaris, who I would absolutely want to subscribe to the least. I think Samaris is my least favorite. I wouldn't want to do Cephalon Suda shenanigans. New Loca is, like, weird culty shit for Earth, though. I mean, that probably is, like, the best one out of these 6. And then there's Red Veil, where it's like, damn, if they weren't so murder-thirsty, cleanse everything with the holy fire, probably them, because they worship Rel and his great sacrifice, and that's kind of based. But, realistically, damn, that leaves me with New Loca, bro. Oh, I'd have to be a Chud New Loca head, bro. Oh, that's... Damn. Nah, I'm gonna choose Parent Sequence, then. I don't want to be associated with New Loca. They're pissing me off in the Silver Grove quest, I ain't gonna lie. So, you know, if we're counting for all of the factions or the syndicates, I'd say definitely the Ostrones. But if we were just talking about the 6, I'm going with Parent Sequence. Final answer. All right, our next question. Oh, God. Will you do a Hello Neighbor Iron Man? No. Our final question for today is going to be, are you using the Ripkas with the Amalgam mod on Necros for extra loot? It works in all kills you make, not just the kills with the Ripkas. Amalgam Ripkas True Steel, or whatever it's called. I wasn't until now, and the reason for it is because I was just too lazy to craft it. For most people, you would just, you know, craft the prerequisite requirements of the Ankyros and the dual cleavers, and then just immediately craft them up, but I would, you know, shiver and shake in my boots knowing that I would craft those things and then have to craft them again to level them. So I was just waiting until I had a good opportunity to level the prerequisites in order to craft the Ripkas without needing to eventually craft them again. I could have explained this better, but it was just a matter of time. I was too hesitant. I didn't want to level up the Ankyros and the dual cleavers, pretty much. So until now, I've been going raw dog with it. But yes, we are finally doing that, as I explained earlier. However, this is where I would like to go on some buttfuck crazy statistics and hoopla shenanigans, because this question is very good. The Ripkas are a looting machine. That already is known. What they do, for those who aren't aware, is they have a 100% chance with the Amalgam mod attached to gore. And what gore means is it just pretty much makes another corpse for you. And obviously, if we're using the Corpse Looter 6000, that's very good. Although, there's more to this than meets the eye. This is where I start going over some math, so if you're afraid of that thing, I'm so sorry, but I geeked out for this. Necros, with no Ripkas, can loot, on average, about 180 corpses per minute. This is because Necros' Desecrate is locked to about 3 corpses a second. So, 3 corpses a second, 60 seconds. That's 180 corpses. But then we have our Chesa Kubro, who loots 1 corpse every 10 seconds, because I haven't figured out a better build for him to reduce that cooldown. So that brings us up to a total of 186 corpses a minute with no Ripkas. I was averaging, I did a little test, I was averaging about 141 kills per minute, so we're below the amount of corpses we can make, and what the Amalgam Ripkas is going to do for us is just going to boost that up. We're going to take that 180 and pretty much double it, because most of our kills are just going to bisect. This would leave us with 360 corpses a minute, which Necros can't handle. He cannot handle all that, but it brings us to maximum efficiency, where, yes, we're generating more corpses, but we're hitting the total of 186 per minute that we need in order to be fully looting and being 100% efficient. But I also found out some interesting tidbits about the corpses here. Fun fact, did you know that infested corpses despawn after 5 seconds, as quoted by the wiki? Now, this can be straight poop shit, because, well, if we can't loot the corpses because they're despawning too quick, then we have a problem, because now we're not hitting our maximum efficiency of 186 per minute. To be fair, I don't do things maximum efficiency on the Iron Man anyway. I kind of just do them half-assed and try my best. So that's not like that big a deal. But I thought it was interesting. You know what else makes corpses despawn faster? Certain status effects, such as Heat and Blast. Keen-eye viewers may have noticed that I've swapped my Torrid to be specifically viral damage instead of viral and heat, like I oh so adore. Because, well, if I'm going to be farming things, I'm probably going to end up doing it with the Torrid, just because the Torrid is just the easy baby piss beam that I enjoy using to farm, because it just does everything I need it to. But, you know, if I'm running it with viral heat, and the heat status effect makes the corpse burn after 5 seconds, then that's a no-go. I can't be doing that. I'm not going to say that I had some gargantuan brain foresight and was like, oh yeah, I'm not running the Amalgam Ripkas because I know the exact number of corpses is, you know, skibbity bobbity boobity bob, and the infested being weird, and Heat and Blast stuff and interactions like that. But I wanted to include it here because this is a series where we are dedicated to one of the shittiest just looting resources farms. So, you know, gotta get the bases covered, you know what I'm saying? Also, the Torrid is bisecting enemies with viral, by the way. You don't need to have a weapon with slash, for the most part. If you're not running the Amalgam Ripkas, you can just use whatever the fuck you want. The gore chance affects all of your weapons. If you are going without the Ripkas, then you'd have to put on like a slash dominant weapon. Good luck with that, by the way. You can't use the Torrid. But, you know, just covering the bases here. I've had a little interesting dive into the mechanics of goring and looting with Desecrate, and I thought I'd share. To answer your question, though, no, I was not, but now we are. Alrighty, gamers, but that's gonna wrap it up for this week's grind. We managed to get a total of 232 mutagen samples today, bringing us to a total of 1695 mutagen samples out of 5,000. The Ripkas did their job pretty good. But gamers, that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Warframe Iron Man Dojo Chronicles. If you liked it, leave a like. If you disliked it, you can do that too. I upload to the Dojo Chronicles every Thursday at 1 p.m. PST, and I upload to the main series every Tuesday at the same time. If you have any questions for me that you'd like me to answer, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And if you found this video and aren't caught up to the Warframe Iron Man, I have an entire playlist linked down below for you. Again, thank y'all for watching. I'll see you next Thursday. Mwah!